Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be showing you my very unfussy sourdough bread recipe. Now, if you are like me in this season of life, I just cannot be bothered with all of the precision that some people take with their sourdough. Maybe I will get some hate about this, but if you are like me and you want some freedom to make sourdough and not have it have to be absolutely precise and perfect, then this is the video for you. I've basically adapted a recipe. I found the basic recipe online, but I've just adapted it to use cups as a measurement instead of grams. I just can't be bothered with measuring out grams at the moment. Maybe one day I will totally get there, but I have some basic sourdough tools, some basic sourdough skills, and guess what? I'm still fermenting my bread. I'm using high hydration, wild yeast. I'm still fermenting it and giving my family something very nutritious to eat. I feel really good about that. We pretty much don't even buy bread at the store anymore. It's just sourdough pancakes, English muffins, bagels, tortillas, all the things. I'm absolutely obsessed. But our basic bread recipe is incredibly unfussy and simple. And so I wanted to share it with you today in case you've had some analysis paralysis when it comes to trying to figure out how to make bread and make it work for you, but not be something that is so complicated or time consuming. So you're gonna start with a well-fed, bubbly, active sourdough starter. You're gonna use 3/4 of a cup of sourdough starter, then add 1.5 cups of filtered water, 2 teaspoons sea salt, and 4 cups of organic all-purpose flour. If it looks a little dry, add a little bit more water. If it looks a little wet, add a little bit more flour. It's very, very forgiving. I just like to stir this up with my spatula, and then once it gets a little hard to stir with the spatula, I go in with my hands. You can wet your hands to make it a little bit easier and have the dough not stick to your hands so much, but just get all up in there and incorporate it really well. You want the flour to be well incorporated, so no dry flour spots. Make sure that it's all together. It's going to be a shaggy mess, but that's okay as long as all the flour is well combined in there. And then just cover with a tea towel and let it sit for about an hour. Again, sometimes I forget about it and it sits for way longer than that. Sometimes I get to it within 30 minutes to do my stretch and folds. I just try to do at least 4 to 5 sets of stretch and folds, and if that happens at different, hours of the day, that's totally fine. I don't nurse my sourdough bread. I just get to it when I can get to it, and guess what? I still make a really good loaf of bread every single time. So we're just gonna let this sit until our first set of stretch and folds. So like I said, I do about 4 or 5 of these stretch and folds, as you can see, and every time you do it, your bread is going to rise even more and change its texture and shape. It really comes together and gets nice and bubbly and airy. And then at the very end of the night, I'll wet the little liner of my banneton basket so that the dough doesn't stick. I'll do a final shaping and then leave it in the banneton basket. Ideally, let it rise a little bit in there before popping it in the fridge. But this night I kind of ran out of time and I just put it straight in the fridge to bulk ferment and rise overnight. Well, I hope that this encouraged you to really get in the kitchen and make some sourdough bread. It does not have to be perfect, but if you follow the basic steps and principles, you can come up with some really great bread. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and tune in for my next video soon.